These lands were once a beacon of prosperity. Under the rule of King Grayson IV, humanity had flourished and its borders expanded. The king had settled the disputes of clans and churches alike, and the great nations lived in harmony. Treaties were formed with the orcs of the highlands and the elves of the east. For the first time in recorded history, the world was at peace. At the heart of it all sat the capital, a lustrous jewel perched upon the great seas. With ports open to every country, it stood as a symbol to all who feared the darkness. We had won. But peace rarely lasts, and darkness gives no quarter. The king's crusades against the foul necromancers and spirits had finally lifted the veil. We thought them banished forever. Mortals spared from the horrors of hell. Yet the whispers from beyond held the power to corrupt and control. As long as they could speak, they were never truly defeated. Before long, their voices would reach the hearts of men once more. In the blink of an eye, the world was turned upside down. Treachery and betrayal beset the nations. Trust was broken and allies were scarce. Few could count on anyone but themselves. The commanders of Hell had succeeded in using their influence to return and cast humanity into the shadows once more. Ragas the Great, the skeleton warlord, once a decorated general and the right hand of King Solius, he was a fierce warrior who fought back the darkness till his dying breath. Cardinal Alsace, the Lich. Once a holy man revered in all the lands for his great deeds of kindness and diplomacy, he was the trusted advisor to King Solius. The Ghost King. In his past life, he was a kind and benevolent ruler known as King Solius, beloved by his subjects and allies alike. But in his final hours, he fell victim to the temptations of undeath. Twisted beyond recognition and filled with hatred, he leads his dark armies against the world of the living with his trusted generals by his side. These three great evils of the past fell upon the lands in a final effort to overthrow the kingdom of men and cast the shadow of death over the world of mortals. Friends and families turned their swords against one another. Churches crumbled and alliances wavered, teetering on all-out war. But all hope was not yet lost. A warrior from ages past had also risen, a great leader who had once faced this corruption many centuries ago and laid down his life as a sacrifice to seal their evil. An eternal gladiator, bound by oath to defeat darkness wherever it may rise, Odin himself returned to defend the lives of those who cried out for a hero. The nations turned to him and swore fealty, putting aside pride and position to unify the mortal realms against their eternal damnation. The offensive was long and costly. Humanity was ill-prepared for such a defiant foe. Yet under his leadership they prevailed. They drove back the commanders and sealed them away within the crypts beneath the crumbling ruins of Castle Vengoth, which stood as a stoic reminder of the darkness that lurked within the hearts of men. Peace had returned once more. After countless struggles and endless bloodshed, the realms of mortals were once again at peace. Now more resolved than ever to defy the god of death. And yet, the influence of hell was not gone forever. The whispers would sometimes reach the ears of travelers, and slowly it drew in greedy adventurers seeking glory and fame. A small city residing below the cliffs of Castle Vengoth named the Azure Crown acted as a port for adventuring parties. Mercenaries and warriors who patrolled the lands to ensure demons would never return laid their weary heads there, much to the seafaring traders' delight. But peace never lasts, and darkness gives no quarter.